All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to our information session for the Master of Development Practice program at UC Berkeley. My name is Tina Kushner. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm the director of the MDP. My role is focused on the admissions and the student affairs side of the program. So helping with answering questions about the admissions process, but also supporting our students throughout their time in the program. So it's really a pleasure to be able to speak with you today and share more about what our program is and what it's like to be part of it. I'm just really thrilled to be able to speak with you and that you're interested and that you're joining us today. All right. So I am the primary support and go-to person for the program, and but I'm also supported by Annie Campbell Washington, our Senior Assistant Dean of Academic Programs and Dean of Students. So you will see and hear from her as well throughout your time in the program, leading up to your start in the program. And then me, of course. Before we get started with the session, though, I just want to make sure that I highlight a few items for this webinar. First, we will be recording the session, so I'll make sure that I send a follow-up email with the recording so that you can look through it afterwards if you need to, along with some resources. Throughout the session, if you could please stay muted and save your questions until the end. I'll be covering a lot of information, and it will be easier at the very end to be able to answer all your questions. I've left a lot of time, so I'll make sure to get to those. And then please feel free to leave your camera on or off. It's completely up to you and what you feel comfortable with. During our session today, we'll provide you with an overview of the Goldman School and the MDP program. We'll discuss the program admissions and deadlines. I'll share funding and financial aid information. And then, of course, I'll invite you to ask any questions that you might have about the program. So the Goldman School of Public Policy, or GSPP, as many of us refer to it, is located on the UC Berkeley campus. We're part of a community of several hundred degree programs across the UC Berkeley campus. Over 100 of them specifically are graduate programs. So there's a really strong graduate student community here at Berkeley. GSPP itself has 4 degree programs: the Master of Development Practice, of course, but also the Master of Public Policy, the MPP, the Master of Public Affairs, the MPA, and also a small academic PhD program. In addition to our graduate programs, we also have an undergraduate minor, which is one of the largest minor programs on campus. We also have 13 affiliated research centers. So there's a lot of great things that are going on here at the Goldman School. GSPP also offers a really fantastic curriculum, which I'll share a lot more about in future slides. And we're also really happy and proud to highlight that UC Berkeley and GSPP is consistently named one of the top colleges and public universities in the nation. Our students are engaged in many different academic, professional, and social experiences and opportunities that UC Berkeley offers. And by attending UC Berkeley, GSPP, and MDP specifically, you'll have access to those top graduate programs in the country. And of course, Berkeley's extensive academic and professional network prepares students for diverse careers. It really is a wonderful place for development practitioners interested in learning and developing in the field. So we admit students from a wide variety of backgrounds. So there's diversity in so many different ways, and students will find themselves in classes with people with varying interests and goals. The classroom experience at GSPP is so rich and special because of the different life and work experiences that everyone brings to our program and our classes. Berkeley and the MDP especially is a place where our students come together to explore different ideas. They ask questions and are truly genuinely interested and committed to making the world a better place. Also being a top research university, our students have the opportunity to be able to experience an environment where they can discover, they can collaborate and thrive. And in addition to the rigorous core curriculum, which we'll again get into more later, the MDP program requires substantial field work. We believe it's extremely valuable and important for our students to be able to apply their learning. And MDP students do that through required experiences that are built into the program. So for instance, we have a required summer internship. We have a capstone experience, which is a culminating final project at the end of the program. GSPP and MDP especially are known for its very close-knit community. I absolutely love our students, our staff, our faculty. It's such a special community to be a part of. I can't speak more highly of our community. The Goldman School in itself is a community where students, staff, alumni are really actively engaged with current students, helping to support one another throughout their time in the program and after as well. We offer outstanding and responsive student services and career support. Just to highlight our MDP team, we have, again, Annie Campbell Washington, our Senior Assistant Dean of Academic Programs and Dean of Students. We have Cameron Parker, who's our Executive Director of Student Affairs, Anushree Deb, our Associate Director of Career Services and our MDP Career Advisor, Lilia Wen, our MDP Program Assistant, and myself. So really a wonderful team dedicated to supporting our students throughout their time in their MDP, throughout their MDP journey. And all of us are also part of a larger team with GSPP Student Services and Career Services that support all of our GSPP students. And then finally, another really great point of distinction that I want to highlight is that we are located in California's Bay Area. You would have access to so many different employers and a number of fun local destinations. In particular, being close to Silicon Valley, you'll feel that sense of entrepreneurship and innovation. And of course, the weather here is wonderful most of the year, which means that there are just so many places close by to visit, whether it's the beaches, whether it's hiking the national parks. It's really a fun place to be. And I truly believe that there's something here for everyone to really enjoy. All right, so who do our MDP students learn from? Our MDP students learn from our distinguished faculty who are leading cutting-edge research and work in their fields. Our faculty's research and area of expertise really range from energy and environmental policy, urban housing and labor markets, international economic development, education, social and economic policy, and more. Featured in the photos here to the left are just some of the faculty who teach our MDP students. We have so many more, and you can find more information about each of our faculty in their particular areas of expertise on our website. But just to highlight a couple, we have David Zilberman, who's on the top left. He's the founding faculty director of the MDP and very involved. We have Jane Malden to his right. She is our interim program director and head graduate advisor. We have Jennifer Bussell, who's a faculty member and teaches a qualitative and mixed methods research course that many of our MDP students will take. On the bottom left, we have Manisha Shah, who teaches our core development economics class. In the middle is Dorothy Kronick, who teaches one of our core quantitative methods classes, as well as a political economy course that many of our students will take. And then we also have Carlos Schmidt Padilla on the far right, and he is teaching the foundational development practice course this year. So again, some fantastic faculty who are very committed and support our students throughout their time in the program. And again, I encourage you to take a look at our faculty bios on the website just to see the many faculty, but also the incredible practitioners that we have teaching our students here at MDP and GSPP. The MDP is a generalist program, so we do not require our students to choose a particular concentration. There are areas, though, that areas of interest that our students can choose to focus on within the program, and they do that by focusing their elective classes towards a particular area. But again, we don't require a particular concentration to be chosen. And because of this, our graduates are able to pursue careers across all sectors, because the program really prepares students for careers across various types of organizations that are working on sustainable development. You would be joining a fantastic alumni network that includes not only GSPP's and MDP's resources, but also UC Berkeley's network as well. Here, I have a number of different companies, agencies, organizations that our students have worked with. And this is not just after our students graduate, but also different opportunities that our students have been able to engage with during their time in the program, again, through the required summer internship, as well as the capstone project. So there are just so many different opportunities available to our students and graduates. And again, the MDP graduates leave with the program being qualified to work across all sectors. So those roles might look like, for instance, research or program managers. It could be it could be a consultant opportunity. It could be social impact entrepreneurs, climate and energy policy or sustainability managers, executive directors, and more. So again, the skills that our students gain from our core curriculum will continue to be relevant and applicable, whether their roles are in the public, the private, or the nonprofit sectors. All right, so we're going to switch gears a little bit. Over the next couple of slides, I will share more about the MDP program itself, which includes the curriculum, the program, and the campus resources. And I also want to make sure that I highlight our programs team. What is an MDP? An MDP integrates the 4 pillars of sustainable development, which are the health sciences, the natural sciences, the social sciences, and management. An MDP program will allow students to pursue a multi and an interdisciplinary approach to their studies, while also being designed to meet these complex challenges that we're facing of sustainable development. Again, we have such a fantastic faculty here at GSPP and across UC Berkeley as a whole. So we have faculty that are associated with the Haas School of Business, the School of Public Health, the College of Natural Resources. Our MDP program is also part of the MDP Global Association. So that's a larger network of schools and universities from around the world that have MDP programs. It was established back in 2007 and identified the need to be able to train generalists that could think across the different areas of development and work on those solutions to development challenges that are being faced. And with our MDP program, we're committed to providing those academic training and practical experiences. And there are so many opportunities to do that throughout the time in the program. Our MDP program is a 2-year full-time in-person Master of Development practice degree. It is designated as a STEM program, and it prepares students with the quantitative and interdisciplinary skills needed as a development practitioner. There is the flexibility to take elective courses from across campus in various departments, so much so that our students choose to explore a variety of topics, or they can focus on a specific area, which can even include earning a graduate certificate in addition to the MDP. Our MDP program is a total of 50 units. It includes 11 core classes along with a capstone. And the first year of the program is designed to give students a core foundation of development. And students will do this by taking courses in economics, decision-making, science, leadership, public health, management, policy, so many different areas. And in the second year of the program, our students will complete any remaining core coursework. They'll take any additional electives of interest and again, work towards completing their capstone, which is a culminating final project. If we take a closer look at the first semester of the MDP program, students will take a foundational coursework in development practice. They'll take a class in sustainable resource development and quantitative methods, an introduction to policy analysis, and either a core elective or elective class. The second semester is going to be a continuation of the first with additional coursework in strategic planning and implementation, in development economics, impact evaluation, and then again, a core elective or elective class. Over the summer, in between the first and the second year of the program, our students will complete a required internship. And then in the final year, students will complete any remaining core elective requirements and take electives. It's also during that second year that our students start to work towards completing their master's degree capstone, which is in the form of a final project where students have the ability and are able to work with a client to be able to solve a significant development challenge. So overall, this program is designed to provide a foundation of development practice in the first year and then allow students the flexibility to expand upon these topics in their second year. And again, our MDP program allows students the flexibility to take courses that they're interested in and that they want to focus on. This list details some of the areas and departments and schools on campus that our students have taken classes from, some areas that our students may have focused on in the past. So there's really just so many different opportunities, whether it's taking classes through the School of Information, who offers an applied graduate certificate in applied data science, whether it's the School of Public Health, the law school, the Haas School of Business. The opportunities are really endless. So our students are able to take advantage of all of these different offerings across campus. And we have a really wonderful and dedicated team here to support you throughout your time in the program. Our MDP program is a professional degree program, so we put a great deal of emphasis on career training and support. We really want you to have the best support and career outcomes upon graduation and afterwards. So as a couple of examples, as part of our new student orientation that we host each August for our incoming students, we include a career services orientation where you'll learn even more in depth how our team supports our students. Each student is assigned a career advisor, so a dedicated career advisor that you would have one-on-one to help support you with achieving your goals throughout your time in the program. Our students are also given access to our online job board where the team posts available internships, different capstone projects, full-time job opportunities are all on there. Our students also have access to our alumni directory so that they can start early networking and building connections with alumni. And then, of course, throughout the year, the team will host a variety of career-related workshops, whether it's resume or cover letter, networking, and salary negotiations, just to name a few. And then we also organize a number of different alumni panels that are focused on different topics based on student interests. So our career services team will survey students to make sure that they are tailoring the workshops and the panels to areas that students are truly interested in and want to hear more about. And then, of course, our career services team will host a number of different employment sessions throughout the year. We have a really special community, and we recognize that it's crucial for our students who are coming from various backgrounds and identities that they feel supported. And as you can see here, the campus, UC Berkeley campus wide, has several resources that support student life, wellness, and diversity. Just to highlight a few of them here, we have our University Health Services, which supports students in all areas of health. We have the Basic Needs Center and the Food Pantry for any students if they ever face food or housing insecurity. We have the Berkeley International Office, or BIO, who support our international students. We have a dedicated student parent center for our students with children, the Office of Graduate Diversity, the Undocumented Students Program, the Gender Equity Resource Center, the Multicultural Community Center. These are just a few, and there are just so many more. We have a really, really special community here, not just at GSPP, but UC Berkeley wide to support our students as a whole. We also find that many of our MDP students get involved with student organizations and group. We have a really engaged community here. And joining a student club is another really great way to get involved and become engaged within the community. We have a number of different clubs here at GSPP. Some of them I have listed here, but there are also so many more that are listed on the website. And one of the really great things about being a part of GSPP and the UC Berkeley community is that if you don't see a club or a group that's within your interest, the chances are that you can create one and really be able to offer and engage the area of interest and the skill sets that you would like to engage with. So the opportunities here are truly endless. Okay, so over the next few slides, I'll make sure that I share information about the admissions requirements. I'll share application tips and highlight some important deadlines to be aware of when it comes to the admissions criteria and application requirements. All right, so when it comes to the application process, we take a holistic application review approach, which means that everything in your application matters. We're going to look at each component that you provide to us, and we're going to review it. We're going to review how you shared your qualifications and why you chose to apply to the MDP. We'll start by looking at the UC Berkeley Graduate Division admissions requirements. So the Graduate Division's basic requirements include one, that students come with a bachelor's degree or recognized equivalent from an accredited institution. Students will need to have achieved a satisfactory scholastic average, which is usually a minimum grade point average GPA of a 3.0, which is approximately a B on a 4.0 scale. And also enough undergraduate training to be able to do graduate work in the chosen field. So again, these three are the basic and minimum requirements to be admitted to UC Berkeley without an exception. All applicants who have completed a basic degree in a country or region where English is not the official language are also required to submit valid TOEFL or IELTS scores. More information about the language proficiency requirement is outlined on the graduate division, and you're also welcome to reach out to me. I'll have our email and contact information at the end of the presentation. You can always reach out to me for further clarification on these. So your commitment to development practice should be demonstrated in your two required essays, which are the personal history statement and the statement of purpose, as well as your letters of recommendation. The personal history statement is typically 1 to 2 pages and is your own personal narrative. It should address your personal experiences and how those have informed your decision to pursue graduate school, as well as any obstacles you may have overcome during this time. The statement of purpose should focus more on your academic and your professional experience, and it should address your past, your present, and your future. So what are you currently working on, and what are your future goals, and how will the MDP help you achieve those goals? The statement of purpose tends to be around 3 to 5 pages. There are not specific limits, but these are just recommendations and what we typically see from our letters and required essays. There's also more information about both of our essays on our website and in the application itself. So please take a look at those. And again, if you have any questions about them, please don't hesitate to reach out. I'm happy to help however I can. And then also as part of our admissions requirements, we require 3 letters of recommendation. And really the most helpful letters that we find are from those who have supervised your work, whether it's in an academic, whether it's in an employment or community service setting. Those who can really evaluate your academic abilities, your experience, and your promise in development practice. So think about who in your network would be good to ask, and then make sure to keep in touch with them throughout your time going through this admission process and afterwards too. GSPP's MDP program does require quantitative skills, and we require the GRE. So the admissions committee will be looking for evidence that you can handle the quantitative rigor of the program. The official GRE scores will be due on December 1st, which is our application deadline. And we recognize it can take several days to receive and electronically match your scores to your application electronically. So please plan accordingly and plan to take the GRE no later than November time, just to ensure that there's time to get those scores matched between what's your score report that's sent to us and your application. There will also be a section on the application where you'll be asked to self-report your scores and upload a PDF copy of your score report. This information will be used to help match your official scores to your application. So sometimes they don't always automatically match, and we're able to do that manually. So that's really helpful for us to have, and please be sure to include that when you're submitting your application. We'll also ask you to submit a detailed resume that showcases what you've done and what you've been working on. And there's no page limit for the resume. And then last but not least, we'll also be reviewing your academic history and placing primary weights on your undergraduate advanced GPA. And the advanced GPA is typically the courses that students will have taken during the last 2 years of an undergraduate program for those who have completed a 4-year bachelor's degree. So typically those last 2 years. So here I have some statistics from the current 2 cohorts to give you a sense of the cohort and the students who are a part of it. At the very bottom here, I've also included some averages age, and work experience, along with ranges. And I really want to highlight that while these are averages, we have students who are on the higher and on the lower end of these ranges. We take a holistic approach to the application review, and we truly value all experiences. So we encourage you all to apply and hopefully become a part of this really wonderful community. All right, so before we move on to the finance part of funding the program, I just want to highlight some important points and reminders about the application and requirements. So first, the application deadline is December 1st. Please take note of this deadline because we do not have rolling admissions and we don't accept late applications. Please be sure to review our MDP application checklist on our website. Everything is important that you submit to us, and we will look at all of it. The resume is required for the MDP application, and we don't have a page limit for it. We require 3 letters of recommendation. You will be asked to upload unofficial transcripts, electronic transcripts, as part of the application in the portal. Please don't send us hard copies to the Goldman School. Everything should be done directly through the application portal. The GRE is required, and scores must be sent directly to UC Berkeley from ETS. All test scores must be submitted electronically and are due by December 1st. This includes the GRE, TOEFL, and IELTS scores. We will allow a 1-week grace period for late scores. So that means that official scores must be received in the application portal by December 8th. So that's the 1-week grace period that we're allowing for test scores. We can't guarantee that test scores received after the grace period will be considered by the MDP admissions committee. So please be sure to plan accordingly when it comes to taking the GRE, the TOEFL, the IELTS, and having those scores submitted to us. The statement of purpose and personal history statement are required. The application fee is $135 for US residents and $155 for international applicants. US citizens and permanent residents may request a fee waiver if they're eligible by following instructions and completing the waiver form, which is found in the payment section of the application. Unfortunately, international students are not eligible for the fee waiver, but more information about fee waivers can be found on the Graduate Division website. So please take a look at that and the different programs and associations that will make applicants eligible for the fee waiver. We at MDP, we do not manage fee waivers. They're completely managed by the Graduate Division, so we're not able to grant any type of fee waivers. And then finally, please take note of the status page on the application website. Once you submit your application, you won't be able to make changes, but you can log back into the application system to be able to monitor the status of the materials that have been received or processed. So for instance, you'd be able to go in and see, the fee waiver process from the Graduate Division, whether the test scores have been received, which letters of recommendation we've received, and which ones we might be waiting for. So you're definitely able to go back into that and monitor those. All right, we're close to the end with our last section. And let's talk about financing your education. Graduate school is a huge investment, so it's really important to consider the costs and how much you can invest in your education. There are a number of different options to help fund your education at Berkeley and GSPP. So we'll talk about fellowships, financial aid and residency, and graduate student assistantships. All of our applicants will be automatically considered for merit and needs-based MDP departmental fellowships, including those for California residents. The number of students who receive funding will vary from year to year. We offer a variety of fellowship packages, and that may include tuition and fee awards. It can include stipends or a combination of both. And again, it will vary from year to year. We will also consider and nominate admitted applicants for relevant fellowships that are offered through UC Berkeley's Graduate Division. As an example, the GOP Fellowship is a very generous 1-year award for incoming applicants. The fellowship includes 1 year of tuition and fee remission plus a $15,000 stipend. So again, if you're interested in this fellowship, please take a look at the eligibility requirements. Please select the box on the admissions application indicating your interest so that we can look into your eligibility for this opportunity upon admission. So again, there are opportunities within the application to indicate your area of interest for different fellowships. So please take a look at those. We also highly encourage applicants to seek external special internship fellowships. So for instance, take a look at the Wrangell and Pickering fellowships. Additionally, there are opportunities through the MasterCard Foundation, through the Joint Japan World Bank, and through Fulbright. There are also a number of additional external fellowships, which can be a really great option for international students in particular. We understand that funding can be quite a challenge for international students, and although they're considered for MDP departmental fellowships, we recognize international students are not eligible for most domestic and federal financial aid. So for these reasons, we really encourage international students to research fellowship opportunities from private organizations, both within the US and in their home country. And of course, despite these challenges, we welcome many international students each year. And it goes without saying that some of the best resources for international students include the Berkeley International Office that, like I mentioned earlier, BIO, and the International House. BIO offers information about funding for international students and more. And the International House offers some housing fellowships each year for students. So again, two really great resources to check out. All US citizens and permanent residents should submit a FAFSA to be considered for federal financial aid. Even if you receive a fellowship, you may need to take out loans, for instance, to help pay for any remaining costs like rent or living expenses. Or it could be that some fellowships might require the FAFSA as part of their eligibility requirements. So I find that it's always helpful complete, and I encourage applicants to always submit the FAFSA when they're able to. Something else to keep in mind is that California residents are assessed less tuition and fees than non-California residents. This is because they're not assessed the non-resident supplemental tuition fee, or NRST, which you might hear it referred to as. Because of the NRST, we strongly encourage eligible non-California residents to apply for California residency for tuition purposes in their second year. This is a really great benefit because it means that in year 2, students would not have to pay the non-resident supplemental tuition in their second year. And the difference is quite a bit. It's about $13,000 a year. So it makes a difference. And more information about the process can be found on the registrar's website. I do need to note that unfortunately international students are not eligible to apply for California residency for tuition purposes, but please take a look at the registrar's website because they have the full list of eligibility on there. And if you have any questions, again, feel free to reach out to me. I might not have the answer because residency is determined by the residency office, but I'm happy to answer general questions and refer to you if I'm not sure what the answer is. All right, and then last but not least, another way that many of our students fund their education is through academic student employment positions. These are GSRs, so graduate student researcher, who, for instance, might work with a faculty on a research project or a center. We have GSIs, which are graduate student instructors, and those are equivalent to a TA or a teaching assistant. There are reader positions who support classes by grading and holding office hours. And then there are tutor roles. So these particular student employment positions, GSRs, GSIs, readers, and tutors, are really great. They're on-campus positions. And one of the great benefits of them is that the roles that are 25% time or more, which is equivalent to about 10 hours of work per week, they will come with some fee remission as well as a salary on top of that. And just to give you a sense of the savings with these roles, for California residents, the fee remission would cover around half of the tuition and fees for a particular semester. For non-residents, it would cover around 40%. So fee remission in itself is a significant benefit. It saves thousands in tuition and fees, plus there's the salary that students are able to earn, the monthly salary on top of that. So it's certainly a common way for our students to fund themselves, and definitely an option to consider when you're thinking about funding. So I know we've covered a lot of information here, so I just want to make sure that I have our email highlighted. If you have any questions along the way, please do not hesitate to reach out to us anytime. Our email is info-mdp@berkeley.edu. If you have specific questions and would like to schedule a one-on-one, some time to talk through things, we can absolutely do that too. There's a link on our website in which I've hyperlinked here for scheduling a one-on-one appointment. as well as a number of other helpful resources. So again, I'll be sending out the slides, and so you'll have direct access to these links, and then you can follow up accordingly as needed. All right, and that wraps up the presentation piece that I wanted to share with you all, and will take us into the Q&A portion of the session. Again, I know that there's a lot of information that I shared and likely many questions, so I want to make sure that I leave plenty of time to open it up to you. Please feel free to either use the chat feature, you can raise your hand, come off mute, however you would prefer to ask your questions. I will plan to stay until the top of the hour. So, if you have questions, please feel free to stay on. If you don't, then that's fine too. Definitely just keep in touch with us and let us know however we can help support you.